Hey everybody, it's me, Static Spark.
No, this is my real voice. Just fucking with you. So, with my voice out of the way, as the title states, we're going to be going through the entirety of Ultrakill today while being hunted down by King Minos. Minos? King... Who cares? Moving on. To add an extra layer of masochism to this run, because I hate myself, I'm only going to be using the arms, that being the Knuckle Blaster, Feedbacker, and Whiplash. This challenge is possible because Minos is one of 3 mobs that can follow V1 through walls, that being the Cancer Mouse,
Hi, Sevy!
Gabriel, and of course, King Minos. With the semantics out of the way, let's get on with it. 01 was, admittedly, pretty difficult. Minos is a really tough customer, and especially on violent difficulty with the lack of firearms. About halfway through the level, I realized that Minos can easily fall into pitfalls, which immediately kills him. While it was pretty funny, I did have to keep respawning him. After that, everything went pretty great until the malicious face room, where I quickly learned that the smaller the room, the harder it is to deal with Minos. Thankfully, I was able to quickly down the face, though as I made my getaway, Minos decided to do something a bit strange. He followed me down the shaft and then killed me, which caused me to respawn back into 01 after I had completed it. Thankfully, the game sorted itself out and I was on my way to the second level. 02 was a really fun level to play. The various crushers, falls, and spas really provided a bit of an obstacle for the king. The level itself was pretty fine enemy-wise. The first arena in 02 really showed what Minos could do. Minos' Judgment Dropkick really shone as the only true anti-enemy ability Minos had. The room where you fight side by side with Swords Machine was actually quite a challenge, with each enemy needing to be meticulously punched while avoiding the near undodgeable shockwaves of his slam attacks. The final room of 02 allowed for some really good combat potential, as the big crushers limited the size of the room and allowed Minos' attacks to be that much more potent. I had a few hiccups getting to the elevator shaft, but eventually I made it to 03. Fuck this level. Just thinking about the 30+ minutes I spent trying to beat this level alone boils my blood enough to fry an egg on my goddamn forearm. The beginning is fine enough. I thought I'd do myself a favor and split the Swords Machine fight into the 2 encounters, which I'll admit was a pretty good idea. The first Swords Machine arena had a very high vertical area, which allowed me to dodge Minos' attacks a lot easier, while also laying into the machine. After another quick romp through some enemies, I finally reached the second Swords Machine encounter, which fucking ruined me. The second encounter with Swords Machine is the closest I got to quitting throughout this entire run. Both Minos and Swords Machine kept me in a constant state of low health with these huge, long-range attacks. While Minos' attacks did very little damage to the Swords Machine, they did plenty of damage to me. If Stephen Waite's beautiful angel voice wasn't as good as it is, I may have given up. But I don't give up. I don't concede. So I kept going. After a long battle, I finally got him. The swords machine fell. And after that, it was a scramble to not die for the door. Thankfully, I made it. '04 was really easy, just a straight shot to the goal. The arenas were pretty open, which allowed for Minos' attacks to be easily dodged. The final arena's big fan wasn't actually an issue since I just spent most of my time near the door. This level overall was probably my least favorite in the run due to how short and easy it was. I guess you could say I wasn't a big fan of it. Yeah. You know what? Fuck 05 too. Cerberus was, yet again, a tanky boss in a very small room with no way to deal extra damage. The entire fight consisted of dancing around the boss and punching him in the face while Minos bombards the room with shockwaves. He insisted on slamming the walls over and over, creating shockwaves which covered the entire room, not to mention Cerberus' stomp making the ground untouchable. The second Cerberus that entered the arena complicated the fight even more, but allowed for much greater healing, and eventually, I made it through. After that, it was a hectic wait for the gates of hell to open and make my mad dash towards the exit. Alright, and that was just the prelude. Next up is Act 1, which should hopefully be a lot more entertaining as the levels are more open and the bosses are more varied. I can't wait. Thanks for watching.